For decades, migraines have been casually dismissed as just bad headaches. But today, let's dive right into this explainer and completely shift that narrative. We're moving away from seeing migraines as this uncontrollable, unpredictable burden, and instead, we're going to look at them as a highly manageable condition. We are focusing entirely on building a rock-solid, evidence-based toolkit that puts the control right back in your hands. We're talking robust data, proven tracking methods, and scientifically backed therapies that don't just rely on medication.
To kick things off, we really have to acknowledge the staggering scale of this issue. Right now, 5 million Canadians are living with migraines. Think about that for a second. That is a massive chunk of the population dealing with a condition that, frankly, is often misunderstood or minimized by people who have never experienced one. And when we zoom out and look globally, it is the #2 leading cause of all disability in the world. So the absolute crucial takeaway here is this. If you suffer from migraines, your pain is incredibly real. Its impact on your life is completely validated by global health data. You are dealing with a profound neurological event, not just your standard run-of-the-mill headache.
So here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the true burden of migraines, how to make the invisible visible, and then dive deep into physical therapies, mind-body interventions, and traditional integrative medicine. Let's get right to it.
Starting off with Section 1, the migraine burden. The sheer scope of this is just fascinating. It affects roughly 15% of the global population. But beyond just localized head pain, modern medicine recognizes migraine as a complex, multi-system neurobiological disorder. We're talking severe sensory issues like extreme photophobia and phonophobia, where light and sound literally become painful, along with intense autonomic symptoms. Essentially, your body's automatic systems just go haywire, causing nausea, dizziness, and this heavy, overwhelming mental fog. It's a total system disruption that can completely derail your daily life, your productivity, and even your social life. Moving on to Part 2, making the invisible visible, and why tracking is such a game changer. You know, there's a fantastic saying in neurology, invisible on MRI, visible in a diary. If you break a bone, it shows up on an X-ray, right? But migraines, they hide. The true shape of your condition, the hidden physiological triggers, the frequency, your specific attack patterns, none of that shows up on a brain scan. It only comes into the light when you track it. A diary takes the sheer randomness out of the disease and turns it into actionable data. So how do we track this without making it feel like a second job? You can use a super simple 0 to 3 scale. Level 0 is a crystal clear, completely headache-free day. Level 1 is mild, but you're functioning perfectly fine. A level 2 day means you're definitely slowed down and you probably need to take some acute treatment. And finally, level 3. Well, that's severe pain where you might be completely bedridden. By simply jotting down these numbers, you instantly create a highly accurate map of your symptoms over time. And honestly, the how is entirely up to you. Maybe you love the classic tactile feel of a paper diary. It's super easy to slide across the desk to your doctor during an appointment. Or if you're like me and want everything on your phone, an app is the way to go. The Canadian Migraine Tracker, for instance, is an incredibly brilliant tool designed specifically by Canadian physicians for iOS and Android. Just choose whatever fits seamlessly into your life so that tracking becomes a quick habit rather than an annoying chore. All right, let's jump into Part 3, needling and physical therapies. Okay, if you're a bit skeptical about non-pharmaceutical treatments, hear me out. Traditional acupuncture has some genuinely massive data behind it. I'm talking about the landmark Vickers 2018 meta-analysis. This wasn't some tiny trial. They looked at nearly 21,000 patients. It proved conclusively that traditional acupuncture is way superior to sham or placebo treatments. Better yet, it offers clinically meaningful relief that actually lasts, showing only a tiny drop in effectiveness even a full year out. Now, a quick side note. It's really important to distinguish traditional acupuncture from dry needling. While traditional acupuncture relies on energy pathways, dry needling is based squarely on Western anatomy. It specifically hunts down those super tight bands of muscle, called myofascial trigger points, that are always hiding in your neck, shoulders, and base of your skull. The needle physically releases that muscle knot, boosts local blood flow, and literally cuts down the raw pain signals that feed your migraines. It's pretty amazing. And you absolutely have to see this data on physical exercise. A massive analysis found that structured strength training can actually drop your monthly migraine days by an astonishing 3.55 days. Seriously, over 3.5 days. That completely outperforms a lot of standard preventative medications. High-intensity and moderate aerobic exercises also showed awesome drops. So moving your body isn't just about general wellness. It is a legitimate, highly powerful preventative medical intervention. Let's move into part 4, mind and behavioral interventions. It is so crucial to understand that techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, and mindfulness, they are not just fluffy, feel-good concepts. They literally rewire your body's biology. CBT significantly reduces migraine frequency by physically changing how your brain processes pain and stress. Mindfulness-based stress reduction actively stops that terrible anxiety spiral or catastrophizing that always makes the pain 10 times worse. And systematic relaxation training, it actually hits the brakes on your nervous system's fight or flight mode. Building right on that, we have biofeedback. Picture this. You feel a stress-triggered attack brewing. Biofeedback connects you to sensors that show your real-time heart rate, muscle tension, and skin temperature. And with practice, you actually learn to exert voluntary control over those automatic functions with your mind. You can literally watch a screen, intentionally drop your heart rate, release that neck tension, and stop the physiological cascade of a migraine completely dead in its tracks. No way, right? But it really works. Finally, we arrive at part 5, traditional and integrative medicine. When we map out the complex biology of a migraine, things like cortical excitability and your central stress response system, we can see exactly how these integrative therapies jump into action. These aren't just random, scattershot guesses. They are precision tools targeting well-documented physiological systems. Mind-body integration, for example, directly regulates your HPA axis, which is your body's main stress response highway. Take Ayurvedic medicine, for example. This whole system is all about restoring balance through structured detoxification. It uses targeted therapies and incredibly powerful herbal remedies, like bacopominaria to protect the nerves and turmeric to drastically slash inflammation. And the data totally backs this up. Observational studies show that over 70% of people using these structured Ayurvedic protocols saw a massive reduction in how often they get headaches and how severe they are. Over 70%. And similarly, integrating structured yoga into your weekly routine is just a total game changer. Clinical trials comparing standard medical therapy to structured yoga programs found that the yoga group showed dramatically greater reductions in headache frequency, intensity, and even pill consumption. It improves autonomic modulation, directly fighting off that nervous system overdrive that feeds chronic migraines in the first place. Well, we have covered an incredible amount of ground today, from validating the real global burden of migraines to making the invisible visible through easy tracking, all the way to this massive toolkit of physical, behavioral, and integrative therapies. The science is absolutely clear. You have real, robust options way beyond just the pharmacy counter. So with all this data at your fingertips, I want to leave you with this one thought. Looking at all these evidence-based tools, what is the very first one you are going to add to your own migraine management toolkit tomorrow?